Hey guys, this is Eli, and welcome back to another episode of Eli's Kingdom. Hope everyone's doing really good. Now, I just wanted to start off the episode with a pretty fun time-lapse on building a little bit more of the infrastructure in the kingdom. So obviously we have two new bridges. We have the first one, which was just the other side of Creeper Castle, a very small cobblestone bridge just taking us over the river to, I don't even know what we're going to do on the other side, but we're basically just future-proofing that. And then we also have this brand new suspension bridge, which I think looks amazing. Let's just head over here to check it out from a distance. This is kind of a Brooklyn Bridge inspired suspension bridge, and I just think it's so gorgeous. It's a beautiful little bridge. I really love the suspension style things, and I think it came out really well. I kind of feel like the top part also looks a little bit like a Chinese dragon. I mean, can you guys see it? I can kind of see it. You know, the magma blocks of the teeth, there's the eyes, there's the ears at the top. I do think it looks really fun, really quirky. Now, I've been desperate to use magma blocks for a long time. I haven't used them in any builds yet, and you know what? I was trying to find a good use for them. I think this really works. It does put out a nice glow at nighttime, so it should be pretty cool when we see it from then. And oh, this is going to look so cool. This is going to take us all the way up to our AFK fishing farm, our skeleton spawner, our zombie spawner, all inside this mountain. I think, yeah, it's just there. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but we do have a door there now. I think it was missing a door for quite some time. So I think in today's episode, we're going to have quite a few little random projects that, you know, I've been putting off for quite some time, like these bridges. A few random bits and pieces that need to get done. So I think one of them will have to build up this path to take us all the way over to there. We built that way back in episode 4, and we're now in episode 22, and this is the first path that we're actually going to have taken us there. So I have been putting that off for quite some time. We also need to do a little bit of work over in the prison. I think we're going to install a bunch of storage silos in the back room in there for storing the wheat. We'll also need to kind of future-proof that as well for storing other things that we can trade with the villagers. And then we also need to do a little bit of work in this area as well. We do have our sewer line underneath, which is still going to need a bit of maintenance. I think it's not decorated yet, so we'll have to take that, you know, do the decoration all the way up to our windmill. And we also need to do a little bit of work with the item splitter for the new storage silo here. And you know what? I think this area here is just looking so gorgeous. I think this is my new favorite part of the kingdom. I think the colors are just fantastic. We've got the orange, we've got the peach white color, we've got the red and the white of the barn, the bridges that are going over the land, the little patches of wheat. I just think this is such a gorgeous part of the kingdom now, and I'm so happy with the way this turned out. I mean, it couldn't have come out better in my opinion. I did do a bit of work with the barn just between episodes. We now have a little bit of a cow breeding area. Now, there's no fancy automatic cow farms or anything. We're just going to do this manually. We're going to come in and just feed these guys some wheat. We obviously can just take the wheat from the silo next door, and then I'll probably just kill them manually with a looting sword and collect their, you know, their meat when they die. We could potentially put a few hoppers in the ground. I mean, I don't want to ruin the look of this. I want this barn to be more aesthetics over anything. So I don't really want to do any fancy kind of, you know, automatic wheat farms. I just want something nice and simple where we can come in and just gather wheat when we need to. And I did do a little bit of decoration as well. We have these new hay bales, we have the pods all in the ground, we have this path tool here, and then some little cobwebs hidden around just to make it look a bit more aged. So I think it is coming along really nicely, and oh, our bridge looks so cool from over here. I really do love this build. Also in today's episode, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but we have a spider spawner just here. Now, I mean, spider spawners, they do generate some string, and to be honest, we don't really need that much string, but we don't have any spider spawners built already. And now this is probably just going to be loaded whenever we're walking across this path, so it's not going to be generating too many spiders. But to be honest, I think it's going to be enough for what we need. So I don't think we're going to do anything too major here. We'll just set up a very simple spider farm, no kind of XP farm or anything. It'll just be something that automatically kills the spiders and just collects the string and probably sends it to Creeper Castle or somewhere. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a plan for today's episode. But the first thing I'd like to do is head to our little underground, you know, command center underneath the storage silo, because we need to do a little bit of work with the item splitter that we built in the last episode. So those of you who follow my channel will know that just this week I put out a new tutorial for building a programmable ratio item splitter. And that's exactly what we were building in the previous episode. This is what we came up with. This is to split the items coming from our wheat farm inside the windmill. And it's supposed to take 90% of the items and store them in the storage silo, and then the other 10% are eventually going to get sent into our sewer line. And that's going to get delivered into our villager prison, so it's basically there for us to trade with the villagers if needed. Now, you may have seen in that tutorial that I'm actually showcasing a different design to what we built in the last episode. And that's mostly for two reasons. The first is I did say I was going to try and do it all in one circuit. This is actually two circuits here. And I mean, one circuit is just kind of a bit cooler. You know, if you can get everything to function in one simple circuit, then that is really sweet. Now, the other reason is that this one, it actually turns out that it doesn't work too well. Now, it does split the items in the ratio we want, but it doesn't work under all conditions. And that's obviously a big issue because we need a circuit that's going to work no matter, no matter how many items are getting thrown at it, we just need it to work. And the main problem is with this item packet transmitter here, because it's supposed to count, I think this one counts 10 items coming in, and to do that we have to place 9 items inside this dropper. Now, it turns out that it will count 10 if we give it 10. If we only give it 9 or less, it will count 9, and the reason being is that 10th item actually skips through at the very last second before this circuit activates. So, if we put in 10 or more items, we will count 10. If we put in less than 10, we will count 9. So basically, it's not reliable. We need 10 items to go in so we can split it in a 9-to-1 ratio. And this it simply will not do. It's not good enough. We need something better than this. So what we're going to do is we're going to build the design I put in the tutorial. If you want to check out the tutorial, I will put a link in the top right of the screen. But yeah, we're basically going to knock this all down right now and rebuild it with the new design. Just placing in the final part of the circuit here, and do you know what? I'm really proud of this circuit. I mean, it did take probably the good part of 3 weeks to develop this, and I think it's maybe one of the longest, times I've ever spent developing a circuit, but I'm just really proud of this design. I mean, it just does, it's a powerful little circuit. It does exactly what it needs to do in this small space. So I think that is everything. Yeah, let's just put a torch down in case we get a couple spawning things here. The final thing to do is we have to place some items inside these droppers and hoppers. So inside this dropper, we want to do, let's say we want a ratio of 9-to-1, then we place in 9 items exactly. So yep, that should be fine. In this one here, we want a single item. And then in this one, we need a non-stackable item. So we're going to do something like a boat here. Yeah, perfect. The only reason this needs to be non-stackable is because it's picked up by this comparator, and it actually needs to go along 3 redstone dust in order to reach this repeater. So having a non-stackable item, I think, has a signal strength of 3, so it's just that perfect distance. If we just had a redstone dust or whatever inside there, this would just produce a signal of 1, and it wouldn't be enough to reach that. So that's the only reason we need that there. But I think this should be working. Yeah, let's just do a little test. Let's take some wheat. Now, let's just put in 9 for now because that way, 10. Yeah, let's do 10 because that way we can do the perfect 9-to-1 split. And I do want to sever this just so we can actually make sure, yeah, let's sever that one there. And, I think we just sent that hopper up to the silo. Oh dear, probably not going to see that again. Okay, let's do a test though. So if we just put 10 inside here, we should get that perfect split of 9-to-1. I really do hope we do. Oh, come on, please, 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 please. Should get, 9 in there, perfect. And then we should have 1 in, oh dear. Why have we got 10 in there? Oh no. Fail. Okay, so it would probably help if I would actually build this correctly in order to get it work. I've just found the missing part. We need a block there. We need to lock this hopper so the boat doesn't move back immediately. So we need a block there. We need to, let's just take this out, put some iron down there, and then we need 2 more redstone dust there. Perfect, yeah. So this wire should lock this hopper, and that prevents that boat from moving until we get that 10th item coming through. So this dropper has, yeah, it's been cleared out now. Let's do a proper test now. Hopefully this one should work. Yeah, so 10 items in there. We should get that perfect 9-to-1 split. Let's just head over here to see if it's working. Yep, it's loading the item. 6, 7, 8. 9, yep, and then the system resets, so in a few moments we should get another flash. Yep, yes, perfect. So we got that 1 in there, we got that 9 in there, perfect. 9-to-1 ratio. This seems to be working great, and it should be working under all conditions. So it doesn't matter if we feed in, a few items at a time, or if we feed in, 100 items, it should just work perfectly. So I am very happy with this. So let's repair the bits that I've taken out. I think later on we're going to connect this to our sewer. We'll do that later though, because I want to get the storage silos built up in the prison. So let's finish up here and let's head back over to the prison so we can do some work there. So my general plan for this area is that we have this space back here, and I think we're gonna do 6 storage silos. Now, we're gonna need one for wheat, potatoes, carrots, pumpkins, melons, and sugarcane. And basically just have them really handy so we can do the trading with the villagers if we need to. We'll probably also need something for emeralds as well, maybe a big storage silo for that. And we'll need some kind of deposit chest so we can put our emeralds inside that, just to keep it all handy. We do have a few escaped prisoners. There is quite a lot around. Oh dear. So yeah, just looking at this space, I think we're actually a little bit too pushed for space here because these storage silos go back around about 4 blocks. And yeah, I mean, the roof is here, I want to be able to take this quite tall if needed. So I think the best thing to do will actually be to dig down into the ground. I think if we just dig out this whole area, we can do everything, probably the same level that we did the storage silos for the iron farm. So we have those 3 storage silos under the ground. And then I think we can probably do a nice glass wall here, so we can actually look onto the iron farm as well. That could be pretty cool. And then eventually we're going to have some more staircases going around, and that should take us to the dungeon area where we're going to have some more prisoners, we'll have some more cells, and try and make that look really eerie and really creepy. Now I think the other thing I wanted to mention about this area is it's not really too efficient right now because we have our villagers here, they're here to do the trading with, but the problem is if we don't like their trades, we have to eject them, and then they basically go off and get killed, and it might take several minutes for another villager to appear. Now, I don't think that's very efficient because, sometimes we're waiting around for a long time and we only have 8 cells. So I think the best thing to do is actually set up an intermediate kind of prison area or a villager trading station. Probably do it in this same area here. And I think we'll do the 1 cell wide trading area where, the villagers come in on the minecarts, the water stream takes them along and they just fit into each cell. And then that way we can look at those villagers. If we like their trades, then we can keep them and we'll actually just send them to these cells here. So if we like their trades, we flick a lever and they get channeled into this area. So this will be for all the final, trading villagers like the mending books and things we'll send along here. And then I think everyone else, if their trades aren't good, we'll just flick a different lever and they should get eventually sent to the killing chamber where they should get taken care of, I think. Or we can send them to the prison area, the new dungeon area that we're going to build, and hopefully they'll get taken care of there. So I think the first thing to do is just dig a massive hole here, take this down, quite a few blocks, and just start working on these storage silos. Okay, so I guess something's not quite right here because you aren't supposed to be here. Yep, I'm talking to you. You're not supposed to be here. How did you get here? I thought they could only spawn inside this area. I didn't realize they could spawn outside. I mean, was there any changes to this iron farm, or have I built this wrong? Does anyone know? I mean, let me know down in the comment section if you have any idea why this guy is spawned here. I don't know, like, he's not supposed to be here. And what is this guy doing here? How did you escape the prison? Oh no, everything's going wrong. So part of this underground cavern has been dug out, and I've just been spending some time trying to work out the exact style of these storage silos, and this is what I've come up with. Let me know what you guys think. So I decided to do this new, this is the nether brick texture that we did in the last episode. So this is the kind of darkish gray slate color. And I think it's going to work really well for this because it's, it's a very kind of prison type color. It's a very dirty gray. And I think it's going to work well. Now that we're underground, we want to start taking the colors a little bit darker. So I'm hoping that'll do really well. We have the cyan terracotta behind here. So that kind of ties in with the gray theme. And then I decided to go for this red concrete. Now, kind of two reasons behind this. Number one, it was the only color of concrete that we had, just reusing this from the last episode where we built the red barn. And then the second is I don't want to make everything gray and boring. Now, I know it is a prison. I know prisons are typically quite miserable and dull, and you don't really get too much color in there. But we are playing in the kingdom. You know, the kingdom kind of has to be nice and bright and cheerful because I don't want to just be looking at gray walls the whole time. I do want to inject some color into here. And I figured red would be a really good transition color because we are going to have some entrances to the dungeons down here. So that's going to be very dark, very miserable. We'll have a lot of prisoners down there. You know, red is kind of, it's a deep color. It's the color of blood. So it kind of fits this dungeon theme where we're trying to make it a bit more creepy coming down here. So I think we're going to have 3 of these silos on this wall. You know, we'll have the chest down here. We'll have the indicator lights going along the middle. We'll do another 3 silos on this wall. And then we'll have to dig this cavern further out because this is where we're going to do our intermediate villager trading station. Yeah, that's going to go there. Progress update, and our new prison area is finally starting to take shape. You can already see that we have 2 new cells against the wall here with some prisoners on the inside. These guys were driving me mad. I mean, I don't know where they're coming from. They just seem to be escaped all over the place. And, you know, they were kind of walking into me while I was trying to build, so I just decided to put them into some cells to keep them busy. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's a very small cell. It's only 1 block wide. They are a little bit cramped for space, but that's what they get for, you know, getting in the way. And I think I'm going to do quite a few of these just scattered around the prison, so you know we can be doing our work here and we'll have some of these guys just watching us, not able to do anything because they're trapped in their prison cells. And of course we do have these storage silos built now. At the moment they're just the front face. We don't have any of the redstone in. We do have the redstone for the wheat one, so I was just building this off camera. This is the EliTheWolf design. We built this so many times in the kingdom, but if you do want to check out the video, I'll put a link in the top right of the screen. And at the moment I think it's just empty. We don't have this hooked up to anything. We do have one of these Peach Pie's item elevators. This is going to be delivering all the items to the top. I think probably the most optimum way to build this is actually to just have 1 item elevator and then you do 6 item sorters at the very top. But I think this dirt level here is actually our ground level on the outside. You can just about see the grass there. So unfortunately we can't take anything higher than that block. And I think the item sorters of 3 blocks tall is just a bit too small for this. So we're going to have to do 6 of these item elevators. But you know, it's not really the most compact, but it should be fine for what we need to do. So this will take the wheat from this new sewer line. This actually takes the items from our central canal in the main sewer line that runs underneath the kingdom. So if we just head along here, should be able to see where we are. We're over by the iron storage silos, and yeah, all the items that come from the windmill, they should come all the way along this water channel. This heads down here 1 block. I just thought it'd be really cool if we could actually see them underneath our feet here. And then this gets delivered down to here. We do have the cake trick again, so the items should get compressed against this wall, and they should be half on the ice, half underneath these half slabs, and then that just makes them easier to get picked up by these hoppers. So we'll have 6 of these hoppers along this wall, or 3 on this wall and 3 on the other wall, and they should deliver all the items to our item elevators and storage silos. So I think the only thing to do now is to actually hook up our wheat farm to this canal here. So we're gonna have to head back over to the windmill. We're gonna have to wire up the item splitter to the sewer, and then hopefully we should start getting wheat being delivered into this system. Another progress update, and everything should be hooked up now. So this is our bottom line for the item splitter. This should take the 10% of the wheat from the wheat farm and spit it out into this water stream. So all of these items should go into this very small item elevator, just taking everything up a few blocks and delivering it into the sewer line. So we have a dropper on the top here that should spit everything out, and this should go into this right channel. Now, I've just had a bit of a thought. Is this the right one we want, or were we supposed to deliver them into the left channel? I don't remember. I know we got it wrong last time. When we were digging this big pit, I know we delivered the items into the wrong channel. So we delivered them into the right one. That was the wrong one. We wanted them to go to Creeper Castle, which means the right channel goes to the prison. Okay, I think that's right. The left channel must go to Creeper Castle. Right one goes to the prison. Okay, excuse that minor panic there. I just had no idea which one went where. So I think we are ready for a full systems test. Yeah, I think if we throw in a full stack of items into this dropper, everything should be set up over at the prison. So we should be seeing 64 items appear in our new storage silo. So if we just give this a test just now, I just picked that one, didn't I? Always happens. Drop that one back in, and hopefully we're not going to lose any here. I don't think we will. Might need a few more blocks in place here. But let's head all the way over to the prison. Let's check out to see if we get those 64 items in the storage silo. And the moment of truth. Did we manage to get all of our items into the storage silo? We almost made it. Okay, so we're one short. I have no idea where that could have gone. I mean, I guess it could have got stuck somewhere, maybe? Maybe when the droppers were spitting it out, it didn't quite... I mean, I'm not holding it. Okay, good. I have no idea. I really don't know. I mean, we almost got them all, so I think it's probably just got lost somewhere in the system. I'll have to go investigate. But unfortunately, that is all we have time for in this episode. I think it did run on for quite a bit, and I do apologize that we didn't have too much of a plan for today. There was a lot of things I wanted to get through, and, you know, they took so much longer than expected, so we didn't manage to get through everything. But we'll certainly be continuing and trying to finish all of these projects in the next episode. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed this one. And as always, if you did, please hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I've been Eli. Thanks for watching.